All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right. So I wanted to continue with the lesson that I was doing. If Esau was destroyed, and I got a couple other scriptures, and where I left off was, talking about how, excuse me, how if Esau or Edom was destroyed, then there are certain things that should be happening. There, not only in regards to the nation of Israel, but the whole world. That excuse me, that changing of the guard, if you will, is going to change the whole world and the outlook of the whole world. And I just wanted to show a couple more scriptures that show that his end means that not only I lost my train of thought there, but that his end means the uprising of Israel, and along with a few other things that the scriptures talk about. So I'll start with this one because I just read this. This wasn't on my list, but I read this morning. Yeah. What was it? So we always read Psalms the 83rd chapter, and it talks about all the nations that would join hand in hand with Esau to come against us, right? But when you read down underneath all of those nations, it starts to talk about what's going to happen to them, right? So let me start at I'll start at 3, and then I'll read down. But once I get down here, I want you to see something. So this is Psalms 83:3. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Right, and that's happened. Right, that's happened. So you have there's people calling themselves Jewish, right? But the name Israel or Israelite or or Yahweh is not in existence anymore, right? And not only is it do you not hear the word very often, or those words very often, but the people that name belongs to, right, or don't know that they're Israelites. Now the world is changing. You have a lot of us that do, right? Even people that aren't necessarily in the truth are calling themselves Israelites, but for the most part, it's still far and few between, right? So here's the next verse. It says, They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, see? He's the first nation, right? And then it says, And the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah. So here's the point here. Down here it says, Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna. It says, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession, right? And who that happened, man, right? So their destruction, right, where it says here, where he said, make them like those who perished at Endor, right? So if they're gonna all perish, right, those other nations are gonna perish with them. So you see the richness of Ishmael, right, from their oil rich nations, right? So once Esau goes down, right, they're gonna go down too. There's only going to be one nation in power when Edom is destroyed, and that nation is the nation of Israel under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Only one nation. So all these other nations that are in confederate or in confederacy with Edom are going to all be destroyed, and only that one nation is gonna rule, right? And as I read in the first part, Isaiah the 60th chapter, it talks about how all the forces of the Gentiles will be brought to Israel. So every nation is going to pay tribute to us. All these oil rich countries, all these countries that are rich in gold and silver and precious stones and animals of all sorts. All that is all gates lead to Israel in that way, right? But if you look at the world today, Israel is like people have a disdain for Israel. When you look into the world as a whole, and Israel gets brought up or Palestine gets brought up, what do you think of? You think of the wars that are going on there, the battle for the land by the Amalekites and the Ishmaelites that are there. Right, there's no pleasant view of that land. But again, as I read in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, people are going to be going to that land in droves just to hear how to rule, just to hear how to live their lives by the ways of the nation of Israel. You see? Let me see. What is that? Is it gates open? I think that's Isaiah the 2nd chapter. Yeah, I said 2nd chapter. This is 60th chapter. Their gates shall be open continually; they shall not be shut day nor night. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Right. So all day, all night, Israel is going to be a place that is going to be heralded as something great and something good. But right now, you think of Israel, you think of, if you're in your right mind, you think of Amalek being in there, who doesn't belong in there, right? But even if you don't know the truth, Israel has a stain on it. It has a stain on it. How it's in cahoots with America, right? Causing all sorts of trouble in the Middle East. It has a stain on it. But in after Esau's destruction or Edom's destruction, it's going to be a place that's has a shine to it, has a glow to it. Right? Matter of fact, what is that? Revelation, is it 22? Is it 21? Let me see. Bear with me for a second here. Here we go. Right, so it's Revelations 21:12. It says, let me see. No, I'll start at 10. It says, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, right? Going back to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, right? And showed me that great city, that holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High. See? And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Right? If you go over there now, you might hear about 2 tribes at best. But this is saying at the end you'll hear about all 12 tribes, and they'll all be in one kingdom. Right? So you can't discount these things that are being said that were going to happen in the last days, because Edom's destruction is directly connected to all these things. Once he's destroyed, these are the things that are going to start happening to the nation of Israel. They're going to have a kingdom, right? That kingdom is going to be in the height of all the kingdoms, just like it was in King Solomon's time. King Solomon, when you read about King Solomon's kingdom, gold and silver was being brought to him on a regular basis, droves and droves of it. Right? And that's going to happen again once Esau is destroyed. Right? Once his kingdom. Matter of fact, what is that? Is that Daniel the 2nd chapter? Bear with me for a second. I'm looking for a particular scripture. Right here it is, right here. I'm trying to think. I want to get right to the point. Yeah, right. So listen to this. I'll start at 31. This is Daniel 2:31. It says, "Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass." Right? And we all know what these kingdoms are. I just want to get to the point here. It says, "His legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands," right? "Which smote the image on his feet that were of iron and of clay, and brake them into pieces." Right? So that stone is the Lord Yahweh Shai and his kingdom. That last kingdom that was going to come and destroy all the kingdoms before it, man. You see? Now in these last 2 kingdoms, right, the last 2 parts of the image happen to be Edomite kingdoms. So when Edom is destroyed, then that's when the kingdom of heaven can come into fruition. Or that's when it will, not can, but that's when it will come into fruition. Right? His destruction, Edom's destruction, is directly connected with the flourishment of these other prophecies that talk about the beauty of the end of the world. Right? So I think this is another one. Right? I want to show you something. So let me go. I'll go here first. I want to make this point. Alright, I'm going to make this point here. What is it? I want to show you. I can read the first verse. But no. Is it? Did I mess up here? I did. Oh, that's why. Salagi. I actually can read this. I think I read this in the last one, though. This is Genesis 36. What I want. Salaki. This is Genesis 36:1. It says, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom, right? So I wanted to show you this real quick, right? So I want to show you this word Edom. Right? Red, right? So when you think of Edom, you think of red, right? So I made that observation just to show this part right here. I didn't read this yet. Revelation 6. I didn't read this. So this is Revelation 6:4, right? It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, right? Now think about that, right? So Edom is this horse, right? Or that him that sat on the horse. And to show you, I think I have it open. What is it? First Maccabees 1. I'll start at the top, right? So you heard that peace was taken from the earth, right? So it says here, and it happened after that. This is, First Maccabees 1:1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Right? So when you go back over here, and it says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. If you take peace from the earth, what's gonna be left? Evil, right? Right? So and this is talking about when Esau was given power. This is more specific, talking about when, right? But again, those last two kingdoms, the Greek kingdom and the Roman kingdom, and now this is being the second leg of the Roman Empire, and then that stone coming to destroy all of them, right? So Esau and Edom's destruction is directly connected with all the things that are going to happen afterwards, after that destruction. Right? So when you those of you who talk about the kingdom of heaven, right? That can only happen once Edom is destroyed. Edom is a big part of prophecy and end time prophecy. But they try to compartmentalize or not compartmentalize it, but marginalize it to make it seem like it's insignificant, so that they can disconnect themselves from it. But Esau is going to be destroyed in order for us to rule. He has to be destroyed in order for us to be in rulership. All right, so that's all I had. It was quick. I kind of was all over the place. Some of them things I didn't have on here, but that's all I had. Hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well. And also honor and salutation to those of you who are of the hopeful elect. And with that, I say shalom.